So another short video on the situation regarding the Huntingdon stabbings, which occurred last week on a train. As you all know about, that there were, I think, over 10 people stabbed, and there's some people in critical condition, but are getting better from what I've heard. And now it's been reported that this man, who the single person alone, on their own, did all this, may have actually stabbed a 14-year-old boy. I'm looking here as well, it says, but the 2 reports of a knifeman at a barber shop as well. Now, I did say in one of my previous videos, if you remember, that I'm not willing to, come with a full opinion piece on it and what I think is going to happen next until I know all the facts. Now, they're still investigating, of course, because they're not sure if the same person. Looks like it might well have been. But of course, if it was, then why was no alarm set off across the entire part of London that someone who's a knifeman is on the loose? Now, of course, you can't account for what happened up in Huntingdon, because that's just not possible. But nevertheless, you'd have thought the police have been issuing alerts saying there's a man with a knife and he's on the run. So that's going to call into question about why nothing was mentioned. But it goes to the heart of the culture in this country, and you notice there's a lot of things happening like this now. All you have to do is look at 2 other stabbings that happened. The one was the most obvious one, which we've had in recent times, the one in Southport, where a kid or a teenager or a boy, whatever you want to call him, a full-grown man for the matter, who killed 3 girls. And there were warning signs before that, and we didn't act on it. Also, the Nottingham attack, where they saw this 3 people die, a young girl, young boy, and a man who was in his 50s, and they died of stabbing because of a man who relatives were saying they should have been flagged, and we told them this guy was a problem. Nothing happened. And when we talk about culture, it's embedded in our DNA, I think. Here in the UK, you have to go far back as Salman Abedi, who blew himself up in Manchester and killed all those kids. And, if you remember what the story or the investigation or the actual inquiry showed, that the security guard didn't approach Salman Abedi for the fear of being seen as a racist. So it does seem here that there's a common factor in all these, is the fact that culture-wise, people are not prepared to speak up. Now, I'm sure those at the barbershop and this kid's family would have said something to the police. What were the police doing? If we want to trust our police again and rely on them, then you have to actually do your job. If you're stretched, I get it. A lot of resources, I get it. But be honest about it. Because with all these stabbings happening, and if more occur, the country's running on the brink. And we can't be at that point where we're looking over our shoulder every single day we walk out of the house.